Hey you guys, Oberyn Blackfire here again, and since my other video got such an amazing response from you guys, thank you so much. That was like one of my fastest viewed videos yet. I just wanted to give you guys a thank you, and then to kind of keep going on my video, to keep it fresh, I guess to say, to make a video before what I think will happen tonight, and then making a video to see what actually happens, since we're basically in somewhat all new content. Also, I'm going to link my page, which is the Moonie page, so you guys can follow. That's where I do like written theories and critiques on stuff. Not just Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones is a big piece on it. I'm going to start doing a lot more media. And then if you follow Sir Moonie on Twitter, I usually like live tweet the Game of Thrones episodes. So if you guys want to kind of like watch it with me, then that's definitely it. I'll put it in the description as well. Anywho, this is going to be a short video because I'm just kind of going to give my guesses on like what they're going to cover for this video, and also is kind of like a little bit of my reactions now that I'm not so excited from the last time. So my initial reaction was definitely more along the lines of this.
She won't be sailing to Westeros anytime soon.
And then I had, yeah, that was my initial reaction. And then as more along, I was kind of like, okay, like maybe, you know, this is kind of going somewhere. And as I rewatched the episode a couple times, I really just ended up feeling more like, well, like honestly, like this. But then, you know, I started talking to a couple of people and, you know, going on the forums, posted my last video. I got a lot of, you know, like good feedback from that. So all in all, I ended up about the season so far. I mean, it's only one episode, so I can't really critique it. I ended up feeling more along the lines of well, like this.
Shield your back and keep your counsel and give my life for yours if need be. I swear it by the old gods we knew.
Kind of reassurance that, yeah, I'll watch the rest of this season, but I may not, you know, I'm going to be very cautious about it. I'm not going to be like, you know, like Reek, like with the world. Like, I'm pretty sure if and when Reek does survive this whole thing, he's going to be so damn cautious about the world and probably never leave the Iron Islands or wherever Sansa is or whoever his friends are that keep him safe, because damn, you know what I mean? Like, Reek is like, anyway, okay, going back to what I was going to be talking about. In this episode, basically, I give for the Red Woman as an episode, I give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, I was excited, and it did have some really good elements last week. However, in my video, if I was looking, like, I was way more approving of some of the stuff that they did with, like, Dorne, and then just the overall Daenerys storyline. It's just really, I mean, the stories that they're staying true to the book, I feel like, are the strongest. Like, really, what's going on with the Night's Watch right now, other than Davos being there, I think that's pretty close to what's going to happen in the book. So actually, the Melisandre part and the Davos and Night's Watch part are actually my favorite things going on with the show right now, other than Arya. But Arya is also pretty damn close to the book as well. So basically, in this episode, well, in last episode, I give it a 6 out of a 10. For a season premiere, I felt like they should have done something a little bit more shocking. They didn't do anything except basically confirm all the stuff that we already kind of knew from last season. One, that Myrcella is dead, Jon Snow is dead, Stannis is dead, and basically, you know, Cersei's crazy. You know, like, okay, you know, what did they really give us anything new? Well, they did give us Melisandre, the reveal that she is much older than what we thought. See, in the book, they never say that she was older. They just say that she was using a glamour. There was a lot of talk about the illusion that she was using a glamour, that she really wasn't who she said she was. There was a big theory that she is older and that she was masking herself, giving herself the beauty and the youth, which is obviously, I mean, if you can cook up a glamour, like, who wouldn't do that? Like, I mean, if you can pick who you choose to look like, you're going to basically choose to look like, you know, like the best that you can. A lot of people are kind of using that as like proof that she's evil. No, I mean, she's done way more evil shit than cook up a glamour to make her look pretty. You know what I mean? It's basically what people, men and women, do on Instagram every day. You know what I mean? Like, don't, you know, like Instagram and Facebook is a glamour, so whatever. I wouldn't say that means that Melisandre is inherently evil. I mean, I'm not saying that she's a good character. She's compromised herself way too much to be a good guy. Anyway, I feel like definitely they're going to go more into Melisandre's hopefully backstory in this episode, because they can't just leave it like on that cliffhanger. I think this we might actually see Jon Snow get revived. I hope that we do. Fingers crossed that we see Jon Snow get revived this episode. Just because now that they're doing this big reveal, I don't want to do too. I don't want the season to focus too much on Melisandre. Like, I just don't think she's that interesting of a character. I mean, yes, there's a lot of mystery behind her and everything, but that's about like that. Other than the mystery, and now that that mystery is already solved, that she's like an older woman witch. Then it's like, there's basically no more needs to be said. We know that she has powers. We know that she's supernatural in a lot of senses. It's basically set up that she's gonna revive Jon. So if we know that's where it's going, let's just go that way. And what I'm really looking for is, honestly, I think what we're gonna see right now is that the wildlings are gonna come to the night to Castle Black, and basically the Night's Watch and the wildlings are going to battle each other. The wildlings, there's obviously way more of them. Basically massacre the Night's Watch that stays true to Thorn, if any of them really do, other than like Ollie, that cute bastard. I'm sorry, I think Ollie's adorable just in the sense of like a kid, but he's such a bastard. You know what I mean? And then of course Thorn and Bowen Marsh. You know what I mean? Like, those are basically the main conspirators. And Jon Snow was hated by a lot of people, but I'm not sure if he was hated to the point to they would like lay down their lives for him. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, so I basically think Castle Black is going to be the main center of this episode, unless they focus on King's Landing and the reaction of Jaime and Cersei with the whole Myrcella thing. We did see Jaime in what looked like to be the Temple of Baelor, or the House of Baelor. Uh, and like, that's when the High Sparrow says, "Oh, we're going to shed blood in this holy place," and then Jaime, of course, like at the badass he is, says, "Oh, I think I've shed more blood than all of anyone here combined," and that can, or whatever he says. So basically, I think we're going to look at King's Landing and Castle Black, the two shit storms that are happening right now. Dorm itself is also a shit storm, but they're basically, who knows what the hell they're doing with Dorm. I mean, Dorn, sorry, Dorn. That's what it reminds me of. It's just like a crazy like sorority, or like fraternity. Like, who knows what the hell's going on in Dorn. But anyway, yeah, big things. I think you're going to see Castle Black. I think you might see Jon Snow be revived, and I think you're going to see King's Landing. Possibly we're gonna see what happens with Jaime, and like him taking King, like basically going to war with the Faith, or maybe Robert Strong finally makes his debut and we get to see what he can actually do. Here's my big question: if Jaime does find out about Robert Strong and who he is at this point, with what happened with Dorne and what they did to Myrcella, does he get on board with Robert Strong? Does he actually accept Robert Strong? Or does he think it's an abomination that shouldn't be in the King's Guard, and that Cersei has really gone crazy? What do you guys think? That's the big question that I have. Because honestly, I don't know. I mean, this is only particularly for the show, but even in the book, I was kind of wondering, you know what? If Jaime, now that he's kind of redeemed, and now that he's really worried about um, making the White Cloak be like really prestigious again, how is he going to feel about Robert Strong? I feel like that, if anything, that is what will break the ties between Cersei and Jaime, like basically for good. And also, where's Bronn in this whole situation? We don't know how he felt about being betrayed um, by the Chicken Dorn, and that kind of stuff, by one of the Sand Snakes. So basically, that's what I put to you guys. Regardless, I think that we might see a Jon Snow reveal. We'll get more Melisandre. We'll see the Wildlings come to Castle Black, and they're going to duke it out. I honestly don't think it matters who wins. I think the Wildlings will win at Castle Black. However, I think that the Night's Watch is demolished now. It is no longer what it stands for, and I think the White Walkers will come at basically any time. The Night's King knows what's happening, and that the Night's Watch is basically blowing up from the inside, imploding. So I think he knows that the wall has basically fallen, and so he's marching on there. Anyway, you tell me what you guys think. Remember to follow the Moonie page, and then Sir Moonie. That's like a nickname that I use, but Oberyn Blackfire is fine too. those are my Facebook page, my Twitter handle. I will be probably live tweeting if I get enough people following me from this. So stay tuned, and I will also make a a video after the show telling you guys what I think. So anyway, let's hope for a good episode, and until then, Valor Morgulis.